Take off the whole top, right to the tail. Stop at the tail. Some of them have a dip there. You can try to correct that if you want. If it's just a pet dog and you're not worried about it, it's fine. But if you're competing, they want a level top line. So you don't want to have any dips in your top line. So if you stacked up like that and you see like this little hole right here, see how there's kind of a dip and it goes kind of up like that? What I would do is I would then turn around and I would make this shorter so it's even with that. Oh. And then you create the illusion of a level top line.
So they should be flat across?
Yep, level top line. Almost every breed has a level top line. Bedlingtons don't. They have a slight rise over the loin, which is why you see them have that little hump, because they're actually roach backed. So a lot of them you just follow the hump. But if they don't have it, then you can create it with hair. The other thing is drop off the side, fall off the bottom of the rib cage, not way up here. If you see that walking down the road, it ain't right. And just flip your wrist like that and drop off until he sticks his foot in there. And the same thing, this is a V shape. What you're trying to do is you're trying to expose the muscles and make the muscles more visible. So you can make that shorter if you want to, but I don't think it's necessary with him. You got enough light on this side, do you think, Larry?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm just doing the same thing on the other side. Curl around the top and drop off. Go straight and then start to curl and drop. Curl and drop. And then you won't get any lines. You won't get any, like that. It's all just gonna flow right down into the bottom.
Did you say you started not at the top, behind the neck? Like
yeah, start right here between the withers. Okay. There's a little dip right there between the shoulder blades. That's called the withers. Okay. Feel with your fingers, there's a little hole right there. Yep. Yep. Start behind there.
Got it.
Yep. Because you want to create more length of neck. Even if you've got a pet client that will let you play with it, then practice it. Because when you do that, you trim this in, and then when you stack them up and you're looking at him, it will create more of an arch in the back of the neck.
So this area is longer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep, we're going to trim that, but we're just going to keep it a little longer. You can either do it with the thinning shears, or you can do it with a longer blade if it's a pet dog like he is. He's so used to my clipper back. He's like, that sounds weird.
Yeah.
On the Scotty, it's a skinny carrot. So I take my two and I just go right along the top, like so. And then I also do right along the bottom. It just saves me some scissor time. And then I scissor in the sides.
Not normally a 7 underneath?
With her, I can't because it'll take off too much booty hair. But I have been, like, if I do a 7 on the body, I'll do a 7 on the top and the bottom of the tail. Really, technically, their tail shouldn't be shorter than about a 5 blade. Especially, he's got a good tail, but his brother, his is short and skinny. And so if I did that, he'd have a short, skinny tail that didn't look correct. So you have to kind of, And I'm going to start right behind his eyebrows. I'm going to try to, because he's not used to me doing it this way. He's like, what the heck are you doing?
And all these people.
Yeah.
I'm not used to an audience.
They're all looking at me. Just curl it down around behind his eye. If it doesn't take off enough, you can go backwards if you want to. Kind of skim the edge. But the point is you want the top still to be just a little bit longer than the sides. George, stop. Good boy. So, and don't go past the occiput. The occiput is what we call the smart bump, the little thing that sticks out behind the skull here. Don't go past that, because then you're going to get into the neck.
So the head is one length, or and the neck is one length, and then it's a different length on the back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know why? breed standard. Breed standard says what? Who knows? What does a breed standard say about the head? Somebody find it for me.
Brick shape. Brick shape.
But what's the proportions you wanted to? This just saves me a whole lot of scissor time. I don't want to necessarily have to blend his entire neck in. So this is literally what I do with him in my mobile because they like him to look correct.
Can you remind me what the length is of a 4? I've always.
The 4 comb on those, it really reminds me of very close to a 7. It's somewhere between a 5 and a 7 in my opinion, especially with my clipper vac because it sucks the hair up.
And that they can be brindle
Yes,
or
brindle,
wheaten.
wheaten, or black. That is correct. Okay, we were hand stripping and blah blah blah. This would be almost always down to all the way down to the table. And unfortunately, you know, he's only a year old and we don't have that, and we're not going to get it because he likes to be out in the yard playing. So we're going to attempt to create the correct shape of the underline so you guys can see that, but that's really going to be the only little bit of rack that we have.
Does the question, say it again, does their look affect them?
Yes, like I'm reading what that page and it's saying like their eyes should be heavily covered. Like so they can see?
They can
Or
still
it's just
see.
for the look?
They can still see.
Does the dog notice if he's had a bad haircut or not?
Not usually.
Okay.
Now, I mean, yeah, if you've got a mid to older dog that's had hair growing in front of its eyes for a year and you all of a sudden cut it off, yeah. If they've got cataracts or something going, it can definitely make them act weird. They'll hide under the bed and do weird stuff, and just because they've had that hair in front of their eyes for a year.
And it's such
You know.
a different feeling so quickly.
Yeah, and if it's matted and they can't see
Yeah.
and they've gotten cataracts in the meantime, yeah, there's definitely a whole lot of scenarios where it can, cause them to act differently. I mean, if you've ever had kind of sort of long hair and all of a sudden got it cut, it feels different. Well, we're humans. We can go, well, I feel that way because I cut my hair.
Reason with what just happened.
Dogs don't do that. All they know is, oh crap, something's different.
Yeah.
And if they're already weird to begin with and then their owner starts freaking out about it, yep, they'll act stupid, they'll act strange like somebody tried to kill them.
But they're not embarrassed.
Yeah, we
No,
have parents at
dogs don't get embarrassed, they poop in public.
These people at this salon, they say that their dogs go home and act different after a haircut. Or they what is it? How do they say it? Because I think I'm saying it wrong, but they're like,
Go ahead
do
with
the
your
parents- How do the parents act after a haircut? They either say that the dog acts differently or they don't like it, or what is the wording
Okay,
behind that?
well, here's the thing, no matter how they say it, here's the thing. If you come to my house and let's say I go, you're my daughter and you've gotten your nose ring done and you know I don't like it. You're gonna come to my house and what are you gonna see?
Immediately, yeah.
And what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
The dog does the same thing. If the dog's been shaved because it was matted and the owner's pissed off about it, excuse my language, everybody, all that dog sees is the owner going, they don't know why.
And it's kind
They
of
don't
taking it out on
know.
the dog.
All that dog knows is your body language, period. And then, if they get home, and now mom's on the phone with the groomer, the dog's gonna go hide.
Yeah.
He thinks he's in trouble. They don't know you're talking to the groomer. They don't know why you're acting like that.
Tone.
All they know is they're in your presence and you're acting that way, period. They don't get it. So then the owner goes, because they all like to anthropomorphize their dogs. Oh, the poor little thing, my baby, somebody tried to kill you, that's why you're acting that way. And then the dog goes, oh God,
Yeah.
now mom's freaked out and scared and all upset, what do I do? That's all they know. They are creating the behavior in their dog. So those are the only reasons why dogs act differently from their haircuts, is because they've all decided that they're their babies and they try to treat them like babies, and that doesn't work. They feed off of your tone, your behavior, your body language. As soon as I start getting my suitcases out and not their crates, they're mad at me because they think they're going to the dog show. And they love it. They pout when I take my stuff out and not them. They don't know I'm going on vacation. But I could say to myself, oh, I've made them feel bad. Look,
They're
Mommy's
sad.
leaving. They're sad. No, they're not. They're just upset because they want to go in the car.
Yeah.
They don't care about
But if a
anything
dog's
else.
having a physical reaction like sores or a hematoma after getting an ear shot, that's a different.
That's a whole different
that
thing.
needs to
But
go
if
to
it's
the vet,
just
but this is
behavior,
behavioral, yeah.
they're feeding off their
And then
owners
do
not
you-
liking the haircut or not liking the groomer,
Yeah.
or there was some kind of an interaction on the way home with the boyfriend on the telephone. Look what they did to my dog.
That's behavior.
Huh? And the boyfriend says, well, maybe you should have brushed it. And, yeah, I mean, we don't know. We don't
And
know
then
what
Judy,
happened.
did that answer your question or did you have another?